All right, YouTube, Truth Man here. It's kind of later. Been in the house for just a little while. I told y'all I'm going live. I didn't mean for it to take this long. Uh, we got a few things we're gonna talk about, and if people pile in here enough, we'll do a question and answer afterwards. But y'all gotta come on in here. If y'all won't, come on in here. My no matrix people out there. So I'm gonna get right into the subject matter in case the 15-minute rule goes in effect. So I said I was going to talk about three segments. One would be good women wear our down. I'm still hearing way too many excuses from modern women on videos, on clips, on TikTok, on Facebook. And we're going to talk about some of the games that I see people playing and even some statistics that I noticed and that I've heard that what was it, 50% of guys aged 18 to 30 never asked a woman out on a date in person. That's kind of troubling. But again, it's not always the fear of rejection. It's the avoidance of rejection. Some guys avoid being rejected because they know that they holding on to the hope of having a family of their own one day, and when they get rejected, it kind of causes them to lose hope, if you will. A lot of guys are just like that. And the women who had the opportunity to be married, like I always say, are ruining it for the women who've never gotten that opportunity. It's sad, but it's true. The women that ain't never got the opportunity, they basically trying to just try to bash their husband, belittle him, emasculate him, and then after a while he get tired of it, and they begin to clash, and then that's when divorce happens. I heard Boss Mac say something earlier that's true. I'm gonna show y'all something. A lot of black men like light skinned women, but that don't guarantee nothing. They keep marrying them, and they getting divorced from them. Um, every time they get a light skin, they try to marry them, and they just end up divorced because it's not the skin, it's the behavior, the character, and the attitude. People still stuck on skin color, but it's really the behavior. Like if you more experienced and you've seen more, heard about more, like I have, then it's like you'll begin to think differently in regards to that. I'm not saying I don't like bright, because I would be a liar. I do, but that don't guarantee you nothing. They getting divorced. That's who doing all the divorce. These dudes are marrying light bright, and they divorcing now. Cause what you don't realize is that's something that a lot of dudes like. A lot of dudes like that right there. So it's gonna be some competition, and your woman has to have the strong mind and the strong will to be able to resist that. Because what happens is she begins to give in to the competition, to dudes flirting around with her, disrespecting you by trying to get with her behind your back. And so now she's coming at you. And it's like a lot of guys gonna see that and be like, wait a minute, something ain't right here. So they begin to investigate. When I began to investigate, I noticed that she was admitting that she was getting attention online. She ain't had no choice because I used to be on her Facebook, just spying on her page. And I noticed dudes just kept saying stuff to her. One dude in particular, I said something to him, Like, dude, you know she's married, right? Like, what do you think you finna accomplish? There's no way. I'm too much of a man. I got too much class, too much standard to ever mess with a dude wife. That happened one time with me. And that's only because I didn't know she was married. She told me she wasn't married. But when I got to vetting her out, she confessed to it. She thought that after she gave me some, that I was just gonna be like, you know what, man, I don't even care. I just want to be with you. I cussed her out, hung up in her face, and never called her again. I told her that kind of stuff bring people bad luck. So nah, man. You gotta be thirsty, desperate, and a complete lowlife to mess with another man's girlfriend or wife. Well, all these women, all of different countries in the world, women everywhere, and you choosing to mess with one that's already in a committed relationship. You's a goofy. And you could try to flash money all you want. You and your money is goofy. That's just something you don't do. So we gonna start out with where the good women at? Where they at? I think I done proved they ain't gonna come in here because they know who'll cook them and who won't. They know I cook them. They done heard me cook. They watch my videos. They respond, try to insult me from time to time. You can insult me all you want. That ain't gonna stop me from cooking. So what we gonna do is I'm gonna continue to talk a little more. I'm gonna cover these 3 subjects. Give people time to come in. If they woke, they might be asleep. Who knows? And if not, we just gonna end this live, and hopefully the ad revenue will come from it. I do want to make some money from YouTube. So I done already proved that there ain't a lot of good ones out there. It's a lot of sneaky ones out there. It's a lot of liars out there. Not a lot of good ones. Big Parks said, yo, what's going on, Big Parks? Surprised you still up. You said they paying you in? Oh, you ain't know I was monetized? Yeah, YouTube, they still playing with my videos, but they give me a little something. Yeah, I've been monetized for like almost a year, 2 years maybe now. Yeah, I'm monetized. That's why let them ads play when y'all don't send the cash apps. Let the ads play. Hit the like button. Share the content. So where the good women at? We got military guys in here. Big Parks is Air Force. You got to have a special type of intelligence to be in the Air Force. Donna Light says you got hella subscribers, right? And some of them, they be supporting sometimes, man. I got to give it to them, man. Just like you be sharing my video, all of that helps, man. All of that helps. But I done pretty much, like the first time we did the Good Women Wear Our Thou, we done changed it. Where y'all at? Period. Where you at? I know they having these. Oh, man, Big Parks, you be at it, man. You in school and you got 2 jobs? He said, I just got off my 2nd job. So they came in that first time, and I was able to vet a couple of them out a little bit. They was being secretive, but they was, for the most part, they was answering my questions. But I think I done proved what I set out to prove with that. Big Park said your channel is definitely growing in subscribers. Yeah, they letting me get up there little by little. little by little, you know. And then too, it's like when you know how to cook people, I know people, I don't like me personally, I like to focus on information, knowledgeable information. But a lot of time when you go after people, people like that, man. I ain't gonna even lie. People be liking that. And like when you talk about black issues, it's different stuff right now that's really taking off. Like when you know how to talk about the energy, positive, negative energy, when you talk about the subjects that people dealing with currently, like people are tuned in, man. They'll tune in. So I want to get into the marriage thing. Like like I said the other day, the Most High knows what men are dealing with modern women. I can't say how he's going to judge people for what they choose to do sexually, so on and so forth. But I can say that he gave you space for situations like y'all face and I face right now with these modern women, where you could make them concubine. You ain't got to even go off in the marriage right away. You can make them concubine, which is basically the marital probation period, where you still treating her like a wife. She's like a wife, but she's not a wife yet, quote unquote. And it's permissible in the sight of the Most High. If you commit a woman as your concubine, you could do it how you want to do it. King David got in trouble because he tried to find a loophole. He knew Bathsheba was married. So he sent her husband into a battle that he knew he couldn't win, just so he could have her. And the Most High, being all knowing, called him out through Jonathan the prophet and judged him, chastised him for that. And he made it clear that with him, polygyny is acceptable. He said, I'll go to it. I'll go to it. Because like I be telling people, you're going to have to argue with the Most High on this one. But polygyny is condoned by God, who is light, and in him is no darkness at all. 2 Samuel chapter 12. We're going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 12. Chapter 12. Somebody already looking it up. They already looking it up because it come right up. Let's see. Let's read it from the Message Bible so we can get it a little more amplified. It says, but God was not at all pleased with what David had done. Oh, I said Nathan, and sent Nathan to David. So Nathan told it in third story, so cold. Then he was like, you are the person I'm talking about. David was trying to, man, I would judge him. But I want you to look at verse 8. Verse 7 and 8 says, you're the man, said Nathan. And here's what God, the God of Israel, has to say to you. Now remember, we see who talking, right? Watch what he says. I made you king over Israel. I freed you from the fist of Saul. I gave you your master's daughter and other wives, plural. This is the Most High talking. The Most High did it. This ain't me making some stuff up so I can get some extra booty. This the Most High talking. He said, I made you king over Israel. I freed you from the fist of Saul. I gave you your master's daughter and other wives, plural, to have and to hold. I gave you both Israel and Judah. And if that had been enough, I'd have thrown in much more. Now, in some scriptures, let's go to King James. The King James. He says, and I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such thing. So he said, if the countries he gave them wasn't enough, and the wives he gave them wasn't enough, he would have gave them even more. Saul had 8 wives. He gave them all to David. David was clapping, man. David, what? No, I don't want to do nothing right now. I got a right to turn you down. All right, get her out of here. You divorced. Bye. Next. Them dudes in the Bible, never, all these women talking like they so spiritual and holy. The biblical patriarchs had more sex than practically all of us combined. Them dudes used to have 10, 15 kids, different women. Look at Jacob, had Rachel and Leah at the same time. He got one of them this 7 year. He had to wait for both of them. Marriage wasn't what it is today. It wasn't slavery. For one, the people were more willing to work together. It wasn't like in our world where it's every man for himself with pretty much everything. They was villages putting their money together, living together, living off the land, helping each other. And their wives was helping. We don't know what they were doing, but we know they wasn't sitting back talking about, well, you supposed to be a man. You should know you shouldn't need my help. These women today think they so special, but a lot of them would have got dumped. Almost all of them would have got dumped back in them days, man. They would have got dumped by these dudes, man. These dudes wasn't playing that, man. Then you got these preachers talking about bishop must be the husband of one wife. Everybody ain't a bishop. That ain't even talking to nobody from our generation. That's talking about the Apostle Paul and those guys that he was using to help him advance the church. He didn't want them to have more than one wife because he said it would be a distraction. Because as you can see, remember the letter where he said, tell your wife to be quiet and let her learn from at home from her husband? It was just too much chaos. I don't know what Bible people be reading sometimes. I don't. So is marriage slavery? The answer is yes. If you do it the way the world tells you to do it. If you do it the way they did it in the Bible, then it won't be. If you do it the way the world tell you to do, it will. One woman, she turning you down for sex, so you ain't getting none. Dudes be in the bathroom jerking one off. How you jerking one off and you married? I had to confront a dude. I tried to bring up because I be keeping it real with him. I told him, I said, man, from now on, I'm not going to be myself in front of you. Because every time you start losing the argument, you want to misbring something up. So he tried to say, you watch porn. I said, you watch porn. I said, you think you got a right to watch porn? I said, if porn is wrong for me, it's wrong for you too. Anything that's wrong for me is wrong for you. See, this is what people do. This is the kind of game And we getting ready to get into that segment next. But this is the type of games that people play. Well, you know you ain't supposed to be doing that. You know you ain't supposed to be doing it either. People think if they stay away from what needs to be done, that they somehow gonna get mercy. You still gonna be judged the same. Still gonna be judged the same. But where the devil be setting people right up is when the devil get people to think they coming after you, but they really is coming after the Most High. Like I just read to you, he the one gave David all them why. So if you say, "Oh, you evil, man, you trying to be polygynous, you evil," what somebody told me. Somebody tried to tell me that. Man, you sound evil, man, talking like that. I said, dude, you cheating on your wife. But you talking about me? I said, that's what's wrong with people. That's what's wrong with people. I never cheated. I just got denied. So now the appetite thing. Hey, listen, the appetite is back. And that's going to be between her and the Most High. Because she can say what she wants to me, but the Most High knows the truth on everything that happened in our marriage. Everything. I could blame her, she could blame me, but there's the truth. Like if you got away with one, he knows. Chapter 35, what's going on? Say, I'm actually catching a live. Hey, welcome. Good to have you up in here, yeah? You're catching a live. I try not to go on too late because people be sleeping, and some people done fell asleep in the live. I could tell because they went from talking to not talking. Just, I be up though. Like sometimes I'll fall asleep, but most nights I'll be up around this time. Sometimes I don't even be home yet. But for guys in this generation, and Big Parks, you got energy, man. I could see if you went to sleep. You done worked 2 jobs. You done probably been studying. He said, we got you. Appreciate that, man. So it's slavery for most people in this generation because women have done too much. The saying holds true. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Y'all don't realize when the dude get to ramming that, cuffing that thing, putting his hand up in there, man. She moaning, she getting hers off. That's all body count. She's gonna remember that. Tongue kissing her, holding her hand in the park, and here you come after all of this. And she done did this with 2, 3, 4 guys. Dude had her in the back seat. She teasing him. He dry humping her. He done bust one through his pants. That's all body count, man. And then they bring all of that to you and to me. And we think, well, I only had actual sex per se with one person or 2 people. Or no, he didn't put it all the way in. He put the tip in and I stopped him. That's another thing they like to say. Street Fighter says, I'm here, bro. It's 9:30 here in Southern Cal. Oh, yeah, y'all are 2 hours behind us. But all of that's body count, man. The most drastic one is if she sucked some dude or dudes off or ate his butt. And now you trying to marry her because she done watered down her activity to you. What do you think gonna happen when you marry people like that? They're going to be entitled. They're going to make you a slave. I'm telling y'all guys, man, y'all better off just having fun. If you deal with a woman that, how can I say it, that you like, that seems spiritual, don't never believe in a woman's spirituality. Make her prove it. Don't ever let's pray, all that. Nah, man, dude, I'm telling you, when I was 18, I had a chick that just swear she was all off into God and the Bible, rebuking me, all type of stuff. And I was banging her that whole summer. She had put on Mary J. Blige. We just go at it. All summer. And you want to know something? The only thing I ever caught was crabs, and it came from her, Miss Spiritual. She gave me crabs before I left for college. Well, I started messing with, I said, what? I knew you was going to be down there messing with. These women been showing me this stuff for a long time, man. I knew you was going to be down there messing with girls at Jackson State, so I'm in college, squirming like this. Crabs just biting me. I'm squirming. Trying not to be too noticed. I go to the room. I get to rush into the room. People talking to me. What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Why it seem like you was in a hurry? I get to the room, just plucking them off. That's the only thing I ever caught. They all joined like this. I had them on a piece of paper. I bent the paper like this. I said, man, I got to see what's up with these. These things causing a lot of trouble. They locked hands or whatever, and they was all like this. Like they made a T. And then that's when my grandmother sent me the kit, and I was able to get rid of it like right away. But that Miss Spiritual is the one that gave it to me. I don't believe in none of their spiritual. Show me. Because I know what they'll do is they'll do something and then try to repent and try to pray it off. I need to pray. I didn't mean for that to happen. Yeah, you did. You arched your back so you can get your panties on. You went through it. You helped them get your bra. You did it. And some of them, they'll kick their pants off like this. They'll take their own clothes off. And then you won't know. They'll come back. Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? I'm not your maid, blah, blah, blah. They taking it out on you because they really want to get buck wild. Like Future say they belong to the streets. You trying to make her a housewife and she want to be on the streets. Let the streets have her. Let the streets have her. What you do is you make it clear to these women, look, I want to make you my concubine. I want to make it worthwhile. But I'm not going to do it if that's not what you want. You got to stick to me. They don't be needing no 2 DICKs. We might need variety. They don't. You know why they need variety? Because they got variety and they wasn't supposed to. You got this dude with the eggplant, this dude with the English cucumber, then the other dude with the little Oscar Mayer. They got all these dudes, and here you got to compete with all of them. They were never meant to have all that variety, man. And this is why marriage is slavery. Because you never fully know what they done did. You marrying them, you be scared to ask too many questions. Dudes be scared to vet. They be like, well, my plan is to get married. So if you ain't trying to marry me, I got 89 marriage proposals. So if you ain't trying to marry me, then we need to go our separate way. All right. Just tell her like this. Let's go our separate ways. You're not finna force me into no marriage. Where if we break up, now I gotta work for you basically. You banging other dudes, and now I gotta pay you. That's not fair. What's fair about that? When you break up, it should be y'all broke up. She could go get a job. That's fair. You gotta take care of somebody that it could have been a plan anyway. That's slavery, man. That's how they did the slave. When slavery first came, it was like agreements, like, well, if you teach us how to farm, we'll do this, we'll do this. But then Winchester started building guns. They learned how to build guns, so the plan changed. Ain't gonna be no, you finna do it, or you gonna die. That's how slavery really happened. Marriage is like slavery because you're being forced to labor, sometimes against your will. You agree to this. She agreed to do this. And then even if she don't do her part, you still, if you the one paying the bills, you still got to pay the bills. That's slavery. That's a scam. Recreational use only. Make you take them serious. Don't be like, if a girl is a good girl, don't push her away. Bring her in. But you be assertive. You stand on her. Don't let her be talking slick or none of that. She start talking slick from the beginning. You put that in check. Like, why are you talking to me, a man, like this? That's how you do that. If she start, you finding stuff in her phone, be like, look, I'm only going to tell you this one time. You either with me or you with them. You can't have both. Well, you making your decision? All right, go ahead. Go, they can have you. You got the dudes don't be wanting to put that checking down. And I know, because I was one of them, I checked every girl until it came to her. I wasn't putting that checking down. She was confronting me about who I'm looking at. And I'm sitting there putting up with this. But the other ones would have tried that. I'd be like, man, you don't tell me if you don't get out of here with that. I don't know what I was thinking, y'all. But when you deal with them, you got to deal with them. You the master. If anybody is a slave, it's going to be them. You don't want to treat them like no slave. But if one of us got to be a slave, it's going to be you. That's how you got to go into these relationships, man. You make her contribute from day one. I don't care how much you make. Be like, look, these kids, and I agree with my guy. He said, he got properties, he got money, stuff like that. He said, even if he had kids, because him and his wife don't, he said when they got old enough and they able to go to school, she could go back to work. And he said he wouldn't be trying to hear it otherwise. Because when you try to be that only person working, you gonna sacrifice some things. That's why I get so mad. You don't argue over that. You made the sacrifice. You giving up the money. You're not gonna be vacationing and doing all this stuff if you don't make that money up front. If you make that money ahead of time and you keep that money, then yeah. But don't think that you're gonna control them just because you're the only person working. That gives them even more time to cheat. But the delivery guy flirting with your wife. They talking. What are you talking to him for? Get the food and close the damn door. Excuse my language. But that's what these women do. Chapter 35 said, my biggest problem was the way I spoke to my guy. I wasn't on purpose, though. It wasn't on purpose, though. And it's easily corrected if the woman respects you. You talking about, wait, what did you say? It wasn't on purpose, though, and it's easily corrected if the woman respects you. You mean your girl? Or chapter 35, are you a male or female? Don the Light said about 10 minutes ago, LMAO. Oh, yeah. I was looking at that like, my guy. But you know what, chapter? This is how I am. The women that's trying to find answers, genuinely, not so you can get alimony down the line, child support. I'm here for y'all. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. You said your biggest problem was the way you spoke to him. Yeah. That is a problem. Man, she ate the booty, Don. Man, what can you tell a woman that ate booty before she married you? You gonna have it rough. She don't be getting mad at you. You don't be like, I don't do nothing with my booty. Why he won't let me eat his booty? We 18 and up over here. We could talk about it. I always put 18 and up on it. But she'll get mad at you because she used to do stuff. That's another mistake they make. They want you to do things like the dude they liked it the most did things. That'll affect your relationship too. She said, I'm referring to the comment you made regarding the way we speak to y'all. Yeah, that's important because I'm going to tell you, that's one of the things that was making matters worse in mine. Like, I'm not saying I'm like George Foreman or nothing, but I had a lot of fights. I came up fighting. And I look at it like, I always looked at it like, you don't talk to a person a certain way unless you want to fight. So when women do it to men, it's like emasculation because a lot of time they done watched all these soap operas and they throwing lamps at each other and all this other stuff. So they think that it's perfectly normal. The Bible even makes it clear. Meek and quiet spirit. That's what he likes. That's what man, if you with the Most High and your man ain't right, but you keep serving him and submitting to him because you know that you doing it to the Most High, when you do it to him, man, the Most High, that dude in trouble. But what women do is they take matters in their own hands, be insulting you, calling you names and stuff, and then think they can say sorry. Well, all the women out here look better than them, better shape, act better, cook better, everything better. They think that they can talk to you like that because you married. Because of a piece of paper, that don't mean nothing, man. A man's marriage starts and ends when he say. That piece of paper don't mean nothing. All that's doing is putting a state in there where they can like manipulate what you have. But I don't think that it's a good idea for a woman to ever raise her voice to her man or argue with him without valid point. See, some women will argue with you because they just think they're smarter than you. Or some of them, I think this is one of the things when you just trying to be tough. Like you've always been green. You always been like the princess. Now you get with a rough dude, and now you want to play this game with him. It's not gonna work. And then some women, what they do is they sisters got bad relationship, so they bringing that. They don't be knowing they bringing that in theirs, because you acting like your husband is these other dudes, and he's not. You trying to make it like your husband is them dudes, your sisters and your cousin them with. That's another mistake they make, man. And all of these things that I'm talking about make marriage not worthwhile and like slavery. And you, chapter, you say your biggest problem was the way you spoke. You stopped doing it, or are you still with them, or because if you stop talking to them like that, that's a good thing. That means that you was willing to learn from your mistakes. That's a good thing. Because if y'all watched the video I made, what was that, like yesterday or the day before? That's one of the biggest qualities in a woman that makes her wife material, is her ability to resolve problems. That little sweeping stuff under the rug, that's good. She said, I agree. My problem was you said my problem was I'm a lead in my career field. So I didn't know how to turn off boss and turn on femininity. He used to be like, hold on now, I ain't your employee. Yeah, now see how he did you? Hats off to him. That's how I would do it. Like, look, I don't care how much you make. I'm the leader up in here. And if you don't want me to be your leader, I don't have to be. These women be thinking because they make more, man, I don't give a crap about that. Okay, you make more. The more you got, the more we got. But these dudes be getting punked. These women be like, my money, his money, my money. If you don't get out of here with that. She said, we're still together. That's good. That's good. Because, like I say all the time, most guys don't be wanting to break up and stuff. They be hoping they can go all the way with it. But some of these women, they just be scratching their head like, I feel like a sucker staying with her. Like that, like if, let's say I said, you know what, man, I'm finna beg, I'm finna try to work it out. Please, baby. Complete sucker. That's not even possible. The things that was done, the things that was said. This is why you gotta be wise. Because if you think you playing games with somebody, what if your games don't work? That's what we're talking about too. This is the third segment. What if your games don't work? A lot of people play games with people, and now they not with that person no more. They thought that they was going to upgrade, and then not knowing what's out here. Pure sharks out here. Where you going to upgrade at? You got a good dude right now. You need to stay with him. You not upgrading. These dudes going to take your head, and they're going to be humping your face. Humping your face, making you choke. You're going to be spitting up all the spit in your mouth. Some women like it. Some women, they ain't gonna like getting handled like that. Then these dudes just choke you. You choking women that ain't never been choked. Some of them might like it, some of them might not. Then he done banged you 3 times. He like, B, stop calling me. I'm done with you. What you mean you done? What I do? Stop calling me. I got another girl. What's she gonna do? Family court. Such and such, your ex-wife has demanded that we reopen the file. What? She was just, I just saw her through the window. Dude had her like this. I'm making jokes out of it, but this ain't no joke for some people, man. Now she want to come after you for money. She done mess with this dude. This dude put it in her butt. This dude had semen all in her hair, messed her wig up. And now she want to come to you talking about, some of them be like, I think we could work it out. No, we can't. What you been doing these last 3 months? What you been doing? What you been doing these last 3 months? Who you been doing? Don't worry about all that. Man, get out of here. Yeah, I think we could work it out. No, we can't. You go work out with them. I'm telling you, dude, I know a lot of people. I done worked in corrections. You talking about red pill jobs, corrections. I see how they come to work cheating on their husbands and wives. Like, the question wasn't who was cheating. The question was who wasn't. That's the question. I never did nothing, but I could have. And I'm being told no. This week, no. We argue. Man, I didn't know you don't think I'm going without. All right, hurry up. At work with a bunch of women that would have gladly. I wasn't like that, man. When you dealing with guys like me that don't cheat on you and you don't do right by them, they take care of you, this, that, and the other, and you want to hold the little small flaws, you gonna get treated by somebody. You gonna get to do exactly what you looking for. This right here. Gonna be all the way what that boy will say, touching the back of the oven. And then he ain't gonna want you no more. And you're gonna be hooked on him. It's because he don't want you, they're gonna be trying to take it out on their boyfriend with child support or their ex-husband with child support alimony. Trying to take it out on him because the new dude don't want him. He just wanted to hit. She told him, well, I ain't had sex in this many years. It made him, he jagged that night because he addicted to tight vag. And then he got to her. After a couple times, he done sunk it in. Now it ain't tight no more. He don't want it. He want to find the next one. I'm telling y'all, what I'm saying, this really be happening to the guys out here. And so, why my stocking cap probably look like horn? This how it really be. Dudes ain't finding good girls like that, man. It's a couple, most of them taken already. It's a few left. The rest done did too much. Too much. Messed up in the head. Father messed them up in the head. Uncle, cousin, dudes on their block, dudes at their school. They hung around the slutty crew. Their whole crew was getting ran through by the basketball team. And she ain't counting none of those people. She ain't counting those bodies. I done heard women say if he had a condom on, it don't count. What kind of stuff is that, man? But this the games people playing. People not being honest with each other. if you start to like somebody, whether you're a woman or a man, the most important thing is honesty. Honesty. What you've done, what you doing, what's your real reason for wanting to be around. The next thing will be, once y'all establish that honesty, you want to establish loyalty. You establish that loyalty next. Then after you establish that loyalty, now you establish the respect. The more you respect each other, the more it might be possible that y'all gonna remain together. Most dudes, unless he messy and come from a bad upbringing, eventually that disrespect is gonna strike a nerve with most men, even simps. Trying to fight them, talking to other dudes, trying to be all cool with the guys at your job. That's all disrespect. And it's going to strike a nerve eventually. I told y'all, I saw a dude with his hand up in his white face like this. And I thought it was funny because I had just told somebody, man, she married, man. She act like she can't keep her hands to herself. Like you be like this from her. She always either coming behind you, like on your neck or something. Somebody told on her, but he was messing with dude on third shift. Got divorced. Another game these women play. Man, either you like dude or you don't. And you could say it in a nice way. I'm just not interested. Okay? Most guys, if you tell them the truth, they might not like it. Some of them, it might hurt them if they like you. But they'll be able to move on. Just tell them the truth. Everybody ain't no matrix. I'm gonna be closely evaluating your actions and your moves. Like, okay, she don't be responding. She playing games or she got other dudes. And I'd just be like, get her. I don't care. I've been married before. I know that this could end very bad. So I'll be quick to move on. It can end very bad. Chasing a woman, trying to force her to like you, which is what I did. My ego, my nickname, being able to, guys calling me this because of this. I'm hooking everybody up. So they start calling me a certain nickname. I was hooking everybody up. Like all of the women I was dealing with always had friends. We used to have a ball. Playing spade, domino, drinking, just practically every week. Like it got to the point where they'd come up to me like, man, what we doing? What we doing later? Asking me, like, what we doing later? And I'll be like, man, I got such and such lined up. And she got her friends. Her friends gonna be over there. That's how it was. Now it's like these women now don't look half as good as they did in the 90s. They don't have the shapes, but they got social media, so they get more attention, which is creating more delusion. And the more delusion is creating more games that they gonna play. Just Brandon just wrote, modern men and women are both victims of psychology. True. That's why relationships seem so hard. Both parties are heavily under the influence of what's going on in the world, and that is the truth. Social media. Social media did a lot of damage with a lot. It destroyed friendships. Now everybody, they be at the club in the break room in their car. I like my phone too, but I come from an era where we socialized. We played outside. We called good women on the phone and talked to them all night until somebody fell asleep. That's my age group, Gen X. The long cord, call ID, caller ID. You talk on the phone till somebody fall asleep. And if you ain't ready to go to sleep when they fall asleep, you hang up on them and you call somebody else. And when they try to call you back, eh, eh, busy. But then they created it where you could answer the phone on the other line and be like, "Boop-doop." People in my age group know what I'm talking about. Like, you be on the phone and then it'd be like, "Doop." Chapter 35 just wrote, I've been excuse me, y'all know I'm sick. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm sick, but I'm gonna say I'm getting better. I've been watching your content. You showed up in the algorithm. I can say you strike me as a man who really did/does try to be a good man. I wish your wife would have seen the bigger picture. She didn't. And she made it hard for whoever come along after her. And people have tried to come along. They have. But I said I'm gonna do this a certain way. I'm gonna show y'all receipts. It's gonna help my channel tremendously. Said, I don't you then she said, I don't know either one of you personally, but I can see effort. It wasn't all her. I made some mistakes. But the mistakes I made, I can say honestly that most women would have, I mean, if they got any wisdom at all, would have took a different approach. I think that some women would have tried to help me. I think that there are some women that when I start getting into that financial trouble in Texas, they would have hunkered down and I would probably still be in Texas. People would be like, all right, we finna do it like this. You work this shift, I work this shift. My boy, Twin Pyramid, one of my main mans, he said, just woke up, truth, man. Late as hell. He said, I hope you didn't have any trouble. No, I didn't, man. I didn't. Now, that'd mainly be Sunday sermon for some reason. They be tripping in there, man. Jay is in the building saying, what's up? What's going on? They be tripping on the Sunday sermon. Yeah, I can't lie. I did try. When the emotional thing happened, I tried to work through it. But it's like with me, the way my mind thinks and the way my mind works, like if you wrong me, then I look at it like if I forgive you, you should be trying to make an effort to do better next time. You shouldn't be talking super crazy to me or doing this or doing that or not doing this. Nah, man. Twin said 100, 100, laugh emoji. Nah, that ain't how it works. It's going to be pretty hard for the next person. But I'm a fair person. I'm a Libra. In the light, I'm going to be tremendously fair. I'm not going to push away a woman that's trying to do right by me. I'm not. You said you spoke on financial mistakes in the previous video. Ups and downs are going to happen financially or otherwise. Being a help me means if he falls, whatever, what can I do to help? There you go. There you go. Even if you have an agreement, like I'm gonna work this. Let's be honest. Nobody could have predicted what we've been through in the last 25 years. We done had Y2K. We had the little Mayan thing. We had COVID. Just up, down, up, down. They give us a stimulus, then they jack the prices of everything up. I remember when that Mayan thing was going on. That's when YouTube really started shadow banning me. Because I went on there and y'all could go on my old channel. I did it on purpose. I went the exact day, the year before, and said none of that stuff was going to happen. Wasn't nothing unusual going to happen. They start shadow banning, just blocking, just probably putting all my videos in secret files. We done been through the United States. We done been through the subprime. Remember that, 2008? The bank bailouts. We done had all types of ups and downs financially. The people that's making it and the people that can make it is when you adjust your strategy to win. You can't be stubborn like, you supposed to be the only one. Nah, man, you can't do that. Isaiah 4:1, twin said, yep, coming to pass. 7 women take hold of 1 man. A lot of women waking up, they like, somebody just did a video where the woman was the clip he was using, the woman said that polygyny might be their best option. Any woman that think monogamy is her best option is childish, selfish, lacks knowledge. Because it shouldn't matter if the dude is treating you like gold, if he got somebody else and you already know about the other person. Where all 3 of y'all could go out and have fun. Be like, I'm driving, so I'm only gonna have 2 drinks. So the other 2 be like, oh man, we finna. That's gonna be my situation. I'm gonna show y'all. Hey, listen. Y'all finna see. I ain't gonna tell you what they call me because I'm known by that in this Milwaukee. Y'all might start finding out a little too much. But people finna see. All these dudes think because they got money that they got all the answers to game. I'm gonna tell you like this. Anybody, when you look on my content, I think I got a hit. If I think a dude ain't got game, I don't watch him. The dudes that I watch, I know they got game. Dr. BOA, Boss Mac, these dudes got game. Game recognized game. Like sometimes tricking do work. It's effective. You get you some pretty women. Because some of them, that's all you got to do. You're like, what you want? You have your nose like this, get the count. It just depends on what guy is looking for. Twin said like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, man, if you haven't done so, definitely. And chapter 30 then said that's the thing. The agreement y'all made should have made her even more motivated to get her a little stream of income. So if something did happen, you could have pulled out a bag. Look, I'm going to say this. I don't feel a need to even I only be mentioning this stuff to help guys. Because trust me when I tell you, she's not the worst out here. I'm telling you, it gets much worse. And that's what's scary. That's what's scary. Now, I will say this. She gets mad because she says that I'm talking about her. Do y'all know her name? I don't, like, you watch. But how can you write a book that you're going to put out in the future, right? But all the struggles, why you ain't write that book down there in Texas? See what I'm talking about? People think I be piling on. I just be telling the truth. Because some people don't want to help you. They think it's all about them. And they think you don't deserve them. And they think they better than you. So you should be glad they there. Ain't no woman gonna ever treat me like that again. Ever. You only gonna be here because you want to be here. And if you think you better than me, if I even sense somebody think they better than me or smarter than me or act like I can't get other women, I'm going to dump them on the spot. On the spot. Twin said it definitely gets worse. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm telling you. Dude, I've heard horror stories. There's some dudes, this stuff is way worse. Then he said, nope. Some dude's situation, story is way worse. Mine just come down to games that failed. Like, okay, you had an emotional affair, but then when I go out with my guy to the bar, you knew I was at the bar. You raise a big stank, slap my phone on my hand, threaten to come back to Milwaukee. Did I do all of that? No, I didn't. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was like this. Caught you. I knew something was going on. I said, I knew something was going on. Caught you. I was celebrating. But then I sat back after that and like, I caught her too fast. I should have let it play out. See what would have happened. But some dudes' stuff is way worse. I'm talking, they come home, her getting clapped. Just a lot of dudes' stuff is way worse. One dude I know, his wife was running off with his car. That's the only way he knew she was cheating on him, is she would be gone for weeks. And one time he just so happened to catch her with the dude. That's worse. That's worse. I know another story. I done told this story. It was hilarious the way dude told it. I'm working at Tumbleweed at the time. I'm in my 20s. And we talking about marriage. And back then I said, man, I don't never want to get married, man. I want plenty hoes. Blah, blah, blah. This how I was talking back then. This was right before we met. And so dude said, I remember I messed with a married woman once. He said her husband was a big old country Mississippi nigga. Saying he like 6'6", wearing cowboy boots, cowboy hats, right? He said that she was bringing him to work where we worked at Tumbleweed. And the dude caught wind or whatever, pulled up behind him. They wouldn't stop. So he pulled up on the side of her, said, pull over. She wouldn't pull over. He said, pull over. Got the cussing at her. She pulled over. Dude come right around to his side, opened the door up. He told him, get the F out of my car. That's all he said, right? He said, get the F out of my car. He said he got out the car, took a few steps, looked back and tried to say something to her. And he said, dude yelled at him so loud. He said it made him cry like a little kid, man. We was laughing so hard. He said when he looked back, he said, kid! Like he talked to him like he a dog. He said he just started crying, man. Man, that was just so funny, man, because he was about 5'6". Dude, picture this, dude. Long arm, big old tall dude. Come open your door. Man, get the F out of my car. Way bigger than you. You come up to his chest. It's him telling the story. He gets out, take a few steps, trying to turn around like he finna say something to dude. What? Dude was like, kid! He said he was like, oh, crying like a kid. making noise, man. I'm telling you, we was on the ground, man. I was balled up like a ball, just on the ground, just laughing, man. Everybody was laughing. They like, what y'all doing in there? We was in the kitchen. What y'all doing? We got work to do. Stop playing. Because it was just an uproar where the customers could hear us out there. It's just the way dude told that story. Twin said, I heard stories of Pookie at the house tearing it up while the kids be at home. I'd go ballistic. Yeah, man. I got a story. But she didn't have a boyfriend. My first, the one that took my virginity, had 2 kids. She had 2 kids. And one of them was real young, so she was in the bed, still on bottles, waking up and stuff, making noise and stuff. She bent over with, I don't want to get too graphic, trying to take care of the baby and me at the same time. But it do happen, I'm sure. Twin said, damn. And then chapter 35 sent 2 laugh emojis. She taking care of the baby, chapter. I'm just learning. She teaching me. So I'm just learning. I'm back there. Smash. I'm going crazy with it because I know how to do it now. I was like 17. She was like 27. I'm like, she sleep yet? Twin, 4 laugh emoji. When I'm ready for round 2, I'll be like, she sleep? Baby making noise, trying to wake up. I'm mad at the baby, like, baby, cock block. I know what to do now, too. Smash! Baby, just keep waking up. I ain't your daddy. Looking up, trying to play and stuff. Man, not trying to be nice, like touch the cheek, go in the bathroom or something. So yeah, twin, I'm sure it gets worse. Them Pookies be like, hurry up, the kids sleep. Pookie not banging her head through the headboard, waking the kids up. Gotta plug this up right quick. Yeah, I was like 17. She was 27. She was like 10 years older than me. But them relationships don't work. Because after a while, what always used to happen is other dudes, this day age, the other dudes this day age start creeping in, hollering at them, and they trying to deal with you and them. Even if you get somebody younger, that happened to me. I had a chick that was a little young, y'all. She was a little young. And after a while, the dudes in her neighborhood start shooting their shot. Twin said Ray Ray be around the corner waiting his turn. That's the dangerous thing about Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray will literally have men being tormented by their wives and girlfriends because they know that they can get sex from them. They can get sex from Pookie and Ray Ray, so they'll deny you while expecting you to be faithful. And if you don't be faithful, they'll divorce you or they'll break up with you and have you paying all type of money. Because Pookie and Ray Ray is keeping their secret. Now, I just want an F. I don't care what she do. And this is how a lot of dudes end up with the disease. Pookie and Ray Ray. Dirty DICK dudes. Twin said facts. Pookie and Ray Ray is the most dangerous characters in the dating game. Because Pookie and Ray Ray gonna mess with the white chick. They're gonna mess with the Asian. They're gonna mess with them all. And these women, some of them will be like, nah, they ain't my type. They'll be lying, saying they ain't their type. But Pookie just was like this. And she bobbing on him. Bobbing and slobbing. Bobbing and slobbing. But he ain't her type. Bobbing and slobbing. Fresh out of jail. He ain't my type. Bobbing and slobbing on him. And you think you they the most dangerous characters in the dating landscape. It's Pookie and Ray Ray. It's not Tyrone. It's not Chad. It's Pookie and Ray Ray because they mess with them all. And most of those women like them because they like bad guys. And you can't tell me I'm wrong because when I was working at the prison, the last correctional job I just had, they were showing me on their tablets all they women. White dudes was having all different types, all different ages. And these women will tell you that they ain't their type. They be lying. And this how you know. Check out the old boyfriends. If they was jailbirds or it was in the game, as far as drugs and gangbanging, you already know that's what they like. They like bad guys. This is why you got to be careful with marriage. I'm combining both of these segments. And this is why this is the games they play. They'll tell you they don't like Pookie and Ray Ray, but they messing with them right now. As soon as you go home, Pookie gonna come over there with his Nike slides on. Nike slides, his tank top with the white t-shirt underneath it. His Jordan shorts with Jordan like this. He gonna come here. He gonna hug her. He gonna grind on her a little bit. He gonna kiss on her neck. She gonna say, stop. He gonna be like, I ain't got that much time. And you, if you married to him, why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? We'll never go nowhere. We this, we that. Most of these women ain't even worth a second look. If dudes knew if we could see in the future, like if we could see their forehead and all their negative characteristics would just pop out. Liar, hoe. We'll be like, get it right away from them. That Pookie getting commissary as soon as you fall asleep. Jay pay payments on your girl's account. That is facts, twin. That $100 biggie bag? Yes, sir. Look, I worked second shift. Second shift was from 2 to 10, 10:30. It was more 2:30 to 10:30. You always went to the dorm early. You always left early. Most of the staff would come beforehand. When I got there, either the commissary was just coming through the door or they was halfway done passing out all the stuff. Those guys would tell me who was sending them what. Like I got a couple of my BITCHs sending me a bag this time. I'd be like, man, this nigga lying. Then I'll see it. She'll call his name. Boom, 1 bag. Boom, 2 bags. I'm like, dang, man. I'm thinking to myself, and when I used to talk to him, because like the grown men, some of them will try to get you in trouble and stuff, but you can really talk to them. I'll be like, dude, they like y'all, man. I see it. They be all in the homeway booth, flashing them. Dudes be in there jagging like this. They called me up there. I'm over here dealing with something. such and such is on that phone jagging off. You need to go up to him and tell him I'm going to block his pen. I go up to him, like, man, Howard going, man, Howard trying to look at my girl. Like, dude, they just said they going to block your pen. And then them girls were so into them, they'll expose themselves knowing that they guys right there. They didn't care. Because they just wanted him to get satisfaction. Because they like them dudes, I'm telling you, man. Said Ray Ray will be there to pick Pookie up. Yeah. You seen this firsthand. Absolutely, I did. You ain't lying, man. With the JPay, then those home weight booths is like, what is it? It's either $13 for 3 minutes or 3 minutes for 13. Wait, what is it? 13 minutes for $3. It's one of them. And this one dude, he was like the alpha dude, had gold teeth all in his mouth. He was kind of muscular. Me and him was bumping heads at first, but I started respecting him because he said stuff to my face and he acted the same with all the stuff. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, in corrections, that's big. Like, the people that I had the most rapport with was the ones that when we did get into it, they said stuff to my face and they didn't act two-faced it when it came to other stuff. Them the ones that I always would like end up cool with. Like this one, the coolest dude there, when I first met him, he ribbed me for like 6 hours straight. 6 hours straight. To the point where I said, man, I'm not finna keep letting you talk about me. So I started talking about him too. And it made, like, we start getting cool. Like, you know, some of those guys, I knew them from the streets. And I knew people that knew them from the streets. So I knew some of them, I just was keeping it quiet because I would have had to write a report for every one of them. And that wouldn't have been fair because I knew some of them from the detention, from when they was younger. So I would have been writing all these reports and nobody else writing them. I said, man, I'm not finna do that. Twin had 3 laugh emojis and Jay had 4 laugh emojis. Yeah, them dudes, man. Them dudes, man. You start smelling that sharp. I'm gonna tell y'all, most people, most men's NUTT smell the same. It's that lingering, sharp, weird smell. You get to walking past the home weight booth, be like, get to smelling that smell. You'll say something, they'll all start laughing. Like, man, why it smell like nut over here? Them dudes was a trip, man. Most of them was cool, but it's like weak staff and weak supervisors mess everything up. Because the more crafty ones, they gonna manipulate. If they can't manipulate you and they live off manipulation, they're gonna go over your head and try to get other people to turn against you. That's one of the things that drive me nuts in correction is that people be working there and they can't see this. Like, man, you can't see that he trying to turn you against me? You can't see that? Long as you've been in corrections, it'll make me want to quit. That's one of the things right there. Twin said, oh, damn. And then, this is the killer part, Twin. When the nurses like them more than y'all, when the nurse done got banged by 2 or 3 of them on the streets just recently. One, she was cool, so I ain't say nothing. She real cool. But she had a baby with one of them dudes. I knew him from detention. I knew him when he was younger, when he was a kid. Dude is sly, sneaky, and crafty. He was bringing drugs up in there. So he had a baby with one of the staff last time he got out. And I had heard she was out on maternity leave, but I didn't know it was because of one of them. I said, that's crazy. The nurses do be getting banged up. Story time. I ain't gonna lie. When I was there, it was different from when I was over there. When I was over there, marriage wasn't perfect, but it was so. Over there, pretty much was a wrap. So I was talking, shooting shot, and getting somewhere, hitting them shots. But the games, man, this is how I know about the games. So let me tell you about this. She probably watching. I don't care, especially after that argument the other day. So it's this one nurse. Like, she was showing interest in me. I wasn't paying no attention. But got to talking about, I said, well, you got a wedding ring on that finger. I said, that ain't even the finger it go on. She say, what finger it go on? I showed her the finger it go on. And I said, so she said, she did her head like this. Said, I just want them to believe I'm married so they'll leave me alone. I said, so you not married? She said, no. I said, so that mean I got a shot? She said, yeah. I said, bet. So I said, come back through here. Came back through, exchange number, whatever. No call back. Why you ain't calling me? I did. No, you didn't. Just playing games. Wrote hers down. Called her. No answer. I'm like, man, F these hoes. And I don't say that about all the women. Like if you, and then when old boy say something, he said, watch this. He said, I'm telling you, this is why you got to listen to them, because they right sometimes. They tell you not to listen to them, that's bad advice. Listen to them and know what to keep and what to throw away. Dude said, watch this. He said, man, she like hood niggas, man. She like hood niggas. She said, watch this. Because, I'm 50. I'm not a hood per se, but I got some tendencies because I grew up in the hood. And like I say, I knew a lot of them dudes from one of my best friends coming up was in there on my dorm, and we ain't say nothing. But he said, watch this. He said, you got to put some respect on my boy Howard name. She trying to act different. I said, man, I ain't trying to hear nothing from her. Because it was too many. It was others showing interest. If I would have stayed there, I know they was mad. Like, what happened to Howard? I was getting through. I was getting home with something. But what I said I wasn't going to go too far till everything final. I was just going to conversate, line up. Conversate, line up. He said the nurses do be getting banged up. It's this dude that was in there that was friends with the guy I'm telling you about. He got to like 2 or 3 of them. And I'm going to tell you why, because he had money on the street. He was big time on the street. See, people be thinking all them dudes in there be broke. No, they don't. I saw dudes literally paying all of their bills from jail. And there's people out here that can't even pay their bills. I'm looking like, man, these dudes. Then you look at their case, drug cases. That the psych nurses too. Man, the psych nurses was getting fired, twin. They was bringing drugs in. We had this little room you got to watch. You can't get too preoccupied because if they on that, they gonna get it done real quick and you gonna get fired. So we had the little room. Some of them had the key to it, some of them didn't. Where when they come on the dorm, they'll go in there for privacy. But you got to watch them though. You better off just standing there in case she decides she want to give him a. Like, you ain't finna do that. I could care less about dude getting one off. Ocean Star said, what's good? What's good, Ocean? What's going on? I'm shocked y'all still woke, man. I ain't going to sleep even after I get off of here. I'm gonna play Call of Duty for a little while. Then Twin says some of those guys be having unicorn. Yep, they do. Dude, I kid you not. This girl was practically a 9 or a 10. She was super light skinned, had perfect facial features, man. And she had a baby with him. And so what happened was, and I think I done talked about this before, was I told them to get off the booth. And I saw his feet because, it'd be a thing around him. So I go up to him and he say, I just had a baby. She holding the baby like this. Because I was finna get it. I was finna get him, man. I was finna write him up. I was finna get him up out of there. He said, my girl just had a baby, Howard. He said, you want me to get off? I looked. I said, nah, man, you can stay on. And I left him alone. But I saw his girl like, dude, his girl, he had the little dreadlocks, wasn't that tall, brown skin. He was a cool guy, though. Said some of those guys be having unicorns that will stay down with them through the years of being locked up. Dude, that's among the games that they play. They'll only mess with you when they mad at him. I had that happen to me, man. I'm telling you, y'all talking about cheeks. I had her. I'm gonna show you how these chicks is. When I met her, I remember the exact night. It was cold. We riding around doing what we do in the 90s, talking to women and stuff. I saw her far back. You could just see it just out there. That back, just sitting out there. I said, oh, ish. I said, let me out. They pulled over. We was playing that Zapp and Roger computer log. I said, let me out. I jumped out, got to talking, exchange numbers, called her the same night. Next day after that, she already in my house. Didn't tell me nothing about her boyfriend in jail, right? I'm dealing with her for a long time. She crying and everything, just acting, dude, like one time, she started crying because it was snowing and I didn't want to go to the movies. And the whole time she had some other dude. The way I found out was I was over there one night. I just was talking about this. I don't talk about this too. And she being secretive on the phone. So I kind of confronted her and I'm like, who you talking to? I pushed my face in there. I said, who you talking to? She closed the door. I said, all right, bet. I had my shirt off and stuff because I was spending the night over there. Because, her grandmother was in a wheelchair, had one leg, and she couldn't, even though she used to talk tough, she wasn't going to be able to catch me. She told me one time, I'll get to you. She said, don't let this leg fool you. I'll get to you. I'm like this. She used to come to the edge of the stairs. One time she'd fall asleep at the stairs. I know he up there. I know he up there. She'd be at the stairs like that. I'd be like, go take her back in her room. She'd be at the stairs like this in her wheelchair. So I used to spend the night over there. She ain't even know. Them nurses be some freaks. Yeah, they do. But them nurses also, this was the catch. I saw a dude get fired who was like a favorite because he kept trying to holler at that chick. 2 reasons he got fired. He got fired because she said he was harassing her, and he got fired because he was like selling their information to dudes. Dudes trying to find out where they live and stuff. He was selling their information. Them dudes had money. They used to tell me, I'll give you $5,000, you bring me a phone in here. Bring me an iPhone. Why you think they getting in trouble in Atlanta? Them dudes big time. I got 10,000. I send it to you right now. Just do this. They done caught up 100,000 phones in Georgia, what is it? Georgia Penitentiary, Georgia prison system. Ocean Star said they for everybody. Yeah, man. That's what you got to know. You got to find the one that ain't. That's why I say recreational use only. And speaking of, I heard a content creator talking about people taking people's stuff. When y'all hear people say Panda Bear, recreational use only, grifting, like I brought grifting, I'm the one to start using that word first in this space. And a whole lot of other stuff. Ninja News Network. People been copying off of me, not giving me credit. And people was getting mad at Kevin Samuels for doing it. And some of the people that was getting mad at him for doing it, they do it. They'll be using your what is the rest of them? There's so many. I come up with so much stuff. Hoville, all type of stuff. They be using it. Don't say that. I heard, what's his name? Was that No Fugazi or whatever? I heard him say recreational use only. I'm like, looking at him like, dude, you big time using small time people's stuff and not giving them credit. I'm getting bigger, but I'm not there yet. Oh yeah, man, they playing a lot of games. Hey, Twin, was you a correctional officer? Twin either was in the Twin know too much, man. Twin was either in there or he worked there. I don't be tripping on people, man. And I can't because like I used to tell them dudes, the difference between me and you is you got caught. I didn't. And I changed before I did. Some of my guys be hating to this day. Like he tried to act like he better. No, I don't. He done did the same thing. He was the ringleader on. Okay, well, you know. But yeah, man, the games are ridiculous. You need to put that on a t-shirt. What? They for everybody? Yeah, that's a good one. Matter of fact, let me write that down. Where am I pen at? I got a couple of them. He said I call them Ford escorts. He said, nah, I have friends tell me plenty story. Dude, you learn so much working in jails, man. It's always Like I didn't care about going in there. It's just I don't like when grown men try to challenge. Because for one, the people that know me, they always used to say, "Man, don't be in there beating these guys up," and all. That's the people that know me. He just went somewhere totally different. Like, and I was shocked. Like, I was finna say, I know they told y'all about me, man. Cause your former coworker was over there. Go get Howard. You go sit on Howard pod. Tell Howard to come here. With the dudes that was a little more good with them, they'll see me and they'll just calm right down. Cause they know you put me with this other dude, I'm not gonna say his name. That's two powerhouses. You ain't gonna win. They used to, I kid you not, me and him had the same off days. They would wait every time we was off, the fights would just break out. You come back, people on restriction. Hey, Howard, you gonna take me off restriction? I didn't even know you was on restriction. What you on restriction for? Had a fight last night. You know I ain't gonna fight with you and such and such here. I ain't stupid. But these people, they just didn't want to put no respect on my name. They don't want to put no respect on my name. Correctional jobs pay good. I'm pretty sure my last days in corrections haven't come yet. I did apply for another one where and I heard back from them already. They'd be like, man, you go up here, you gonna get poked up. No, I'm not, because I know how to relate to these dudes, man. I'm never gonna assume compliance though. Like I just got it made. I'm gonna always be on point. But I know as long as I don't be disrespectful and challenging these dudes, most of them they ain't gonna, some of them might talk. Like they tried to say, man, you ain't do S. Dude was talking about he'll bust your staff and on the G, this. I'm leaning on the desk like this, on the table. Perfectly relaxed, like, because when you relax, if they attack you, you can strike with precision, and it's going to be hard for them to try to say you did this, you did that. I was just like this. He talking, man, I'll bust, because I said something to him. I told him to stop talking. He said, man, I'm going up anyway. I'm going up north in the morning anyway. I don't give a F. All this other stuff, right? I'm just leaning right there. Just ready to take him if he try to attack the sergeant. They're going to say, oh, he did. See, I knew right then and there, they tripping at this place. I ain't going to be here long. Because if had I would have did something, they would be like, oh, he overdoing it. He trying to prove something. It was like a double-edged sword from day one at that place. Said, why'd you leave, Ocean? I left because I got tired of them not putting respect on my name. People in the county know me as groups of brothers and sisters and everybody spread through all three facilities. They know the correctional officers. I had a reputation. I got a nickname that they was calling me. They was calling me Hitman for numerous reasons. And everybody knew, Hitman, are you talking about such and such? Yeah, I heard about him. But I get over here and they don't want to put no respect on nobody now. And they know me. And the dudes that was in there, man, I know Howard from Juvenile. They'll tell them, like, one dude spazzed out on the other guys and almost got in a fight because he looked at it like he knew how I did things. He knew I was going to shut stuff down. He's like, man, leave him alone, bro. You're not going to manipulate him. You're not going to punk him. Man, just do what he say, man. You messing it up for all of us. They had a back and forth, and they almost got into it. He said, man, you don't know how this, you don't know this. I know this, man. I've been knowing this, man. You wasting time, man. You messing it up for the rest of us. And they got into it. And I'm like, man, just forget about it. But I left because, one, they wasn't putting respect. So this is what they was doing. Picture a coach that no matter what the score is at halftime, he's criticizing his team. His team could be playing good and he's still criticizing. That's what they used to do in roll call. And it got to the point where they were starting to front people off too. Like people be hearing about incidents and they'll be talking about it right in front. I'm like, dude, everybody know that happened on my dorm and you gonna say it like that? So what happened was a lot of the staff wasn't following the rules with the phone, where you supposed to have a phone list, right? Now watch this. The sergeants, they come relieve you for your break. You be like, this is where I'm at on the phone list. F that phone list. I ain't doing no phone list. They'll come back doing their tour, checking later. You got a phone list? That was so effing annoying. You just told me you supposed to be the leader. You don't even do a phone list, but then you gonna try to put me on the spot asking me for a phone list. And I always had one because I knew they was gonna try to pull that garbage. So what I did was I got called in the office over a check that he said I was kind of getting close, kind of late, and was telling me just kind of leave, do your checks early. So he asked me, other than that, how things going? I say, I don't know, man. You seem all right, man, other than that phone list. I said, a lot of these staff, they still don't got no phone list. He says, he's the captain. He says, I know. That right there. If I wouldn't have knew he knew, I would probably still be there. But the fact that he tried to write me up over a fight that two people had, that I handled the way they trained us to handle it, say it was head up fight, they both fight, let them fight. Just call it in. I called it in. I made sure nobody jumped in it. Man, go to y'all bunks. Go to y'all bunk. Get away from them. They watching the fight. I'm yelling at them. Get away from them. So one of the dudes tried to break it up, but I ended up grabbing him, getting him out the way from trying to break it up. Everything I did was what they told us to do. This dude was going to write me up because he said that I should have did more because, and I believe it was because the woman, one of the more beautiful sergeants, came in first and did some work. And I don't think he liked it that. I don't know what he had going or what he wanted to have going. He didn't like that. So he tried to take it out on me. Now keep in mind, days before that, everybody, all of us knew about this incident. Another chick on another dorm let 4 guys jump one dude. What you think he said? He downplayed it, but he was going to write me up for doing it the way they told me to do it. Now, whatever their motive was, this is what they told me. His lieutenant told me, let them fight. When I broke up another fight, he said, you too close, let them fight. That's what he told me. Now, I don't know what he thought. He not tougher than me. I don't know what he thought. He just had it made there. He a lieutenant. I'm new. I'm still on probation. I'm 8 months in. I got 4 more months before I come on probation. So that night, we come in, he criticizing my incident, changed the way everybody do the phone list, and then called me down there later on trying to write me up. Now keep in mind, they already mandatory me to work third shift. It wasn't supposed to be me because I had just got mandatory either the night before or the night before that. It was recent. They supposed to go down the list. So he already mandatory me. And roll call they already took. It was my 3-day weekend. It was my 3-day weekend. They already took the first day, which was Friday. And what they was going to do, they just try to be sneaky about it. They was going to call me in the office and they was going to take either Saturday or Sunday away too. And just let me have one off day. So me knowing this, I was like, when we talking about it, when he said it's going to be some paperwork, I'm going to have to write you up for this, I was livid. I couldn't believe it. That you trying to write me up, you didn't write her up. Talking about it's your duty to care and to act. I did. I did it the way y'all said. You need to be telling her that. You tell me what, because she got a big booty? She can let 4 dudes jump one person? This is what I be saying about that equality. I'm not against men and women being in the workplace together. But if they gonna work the same job I work, then they gotta do it the way I gotta do it. No exceptions, no favoritism. Me being a Libra, of course, like I'm thinking about all of this and it's just making me more and more angry. And I got into it with a dude. I probably was gonna get in trouble for that. I said, but if you come after me, that's a whole different situation. That's a whole different situation. While you talking like somebody's scared or something, I said, that's a whole different situation. I said, didn't you say you from the backwoods of Louisiana? I said, man, you don't even know how this go. I went off on dude. So you don't even know how this go up here. And I went in the bathroom. On the north building, the bathrooms is enclosed. So if me and him would have fought, only people that would have saw it was if they come in there. So I'm like, I went in the bathroom like I was just out of character. I was out of character. Like I wasn't going to touch nobody or do nothing, but if he would have came in there, I would have saw that as an opportunity. I went and did my check in the bathroom. Dude just on his bunk talking. Man, go sit down somewhere. You always want to act like somebody. So when he told me he was going to write me up, I sat in the locker room for a while because I didn't want to go back upstairs. Because I learned through corrections, if you upset, no matter what they telling you, just remove yourself for a little while. Move yourself until you get your mind right. So I removed myself. I'm sitting down there like this. I'm looking at the ground, fist balled up. I'm just mad. Like, I can't believe these people. I can't believe these people. So I go back up there. I say, you ain't got to write me up. I quit. I start taking the equipment off. You said I would have left as well. No respect. A lot of people would have met. Do you know how many people was quitting, twin? And this dude talking about he want to box. No, you don't. You don't want to box, man. Because here's the thing. I don't know you. Usually, this is my rule on boxing. I don't box people I like. But a dude like you that's trying to challenge me that I don't know, all it takes is for you to get one. You just get one in. Hey, twin, get rid of him. Where you live at, Lamar? Wait, hold on. Not yet. Where you live at? Because I think, was that you? I told once before. I told you once before. If this is what you want, don't let the age fool you. And don't try to call no police either. Ain't no police. Ain't no police. I can see your face, them thin facial features, man. You shouldn't be trying to box nobody. You get hit in your nose is going to be broke. Talking about, I challenge you. If you in Milwaukee, go for what you know. Say, I'm Lamar Jackson. You get in my face, I'm going to make sure, because, Wisconsin kind of racist. So I got to make sure if I beat up somebody with stringy hair like yours that look like you, that I can justify it. You're not even in my weight. I weigh 295. You probably don't even weigh India. What is wrong with y'all, man? Where do you live at? What state you live in? Yeah, I boxed before, Ocean. I was thinking about going professional at 22. I still shadow boxing, work on my moves and stuff. That's why the Indians, that's why y'all act like that, man. What state are you in? Are you in Wisconsin? You know what I would absolutely love? If you was one of those Indians that be where I be at, I would come right up to your car. Now, what was that you was saying? You want to box? I'll give you the first shot. You take the first shot. So then that way, when the police come, they can't say nigga, 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 and just get to wrestling me. They're going to have to look at the situation. Reborn Dynasty said, what up, twin? Going back up to a more meaningful post, Twin said they had inmate dating apps. What? And then I already answered Ocean asked why I leave. The inmates be posing in their jail clothes, still getting women. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They be in there lining each other up with toenail clippers. Crisp linings, like shop linings. They get caught, they'll get in trouble. I didn't care because, like, as long as I knew who had the clippers, what they was doing, I used to tell them, like, man, if somebody come, man, you on your own. Said that's how a lot of inmates get killed. They don't care. Yeah, they just always, like, I didn't agree with that from day one. Like, if somebody fight, break up the fight. That's how we did at detention. When they fought, we just dumped them on the ground or we separated them. We always broke it up immediately. They say, but now I will say, when you by yourself over there too, they didn't want you to engage. Because there was a couple situations where I had to wait until somebody came before I can engage. And one time it was 2 against 1, and boy, they was fighting, but I couldn't engage because I was on the pod by myself. So I called it in. As soon as they came, I engaged. And one time I was right next to the dude just waiting. He broke the TV. As soon as I called it in saying he refused to lock in, he reached around me and hit the TV. Boom! Broke it. So I had to sit and wait. I don't keep looking at the door like this. As soon as they came, I just grabbed it. Dumped him on the floor. He started trying to fight. Didn't work out for him. But Ocean is right. She was the one they were supposed to write up. Because if that was me, like he tried to say, "Are you in here? You in?" I'm like, dude, you don't know me. Y'all think because I'm 50? One thing about corrections in Wisconsin, I'm going to show y'all something that people here already know. A lot of the older staff are the more physical. The younger staff some of them be physical, but a lot of them be still getting manipulated because they mind young. They on the same level. But the older staff, them was the ones that will get you. Especially in detention, like people, the young staff, nah, it was the older ones, man. It was the older ones. Said I would have left as well, no respect. Then dude, okay, you can get rid of dude. He ain't talking about nothing. He just trying to annoy somebody. You challenge me, okay? If this is what we do. If you beat me, I got to move to Africa. If I beat you, if you in the U.S., you got to go back to India. Bet. Because looking at your picture, you probably don't even weigh 200 pounds. I don't see how you could even take one of my punches. And they coming so fast, you're not going to be able to stop them all. I think what I'm going to have to do, if these dudes keep bringing this boxing stuff up, I'm going to show y'all how I train. I'm 50 years old right now, and I can beat some of the heavyweights this pros. Because their defense ain't good enough to match my speed and power. And they can't take a punch. So I can beat some of them. I'll beat Jake Paul, without a doubt. I will beat Jake Paul. But anyway, yeah, get rid of him, twin. He's a mark. He ain't talking about nothing. Y'all here to replace us, man. Shout out to all the cool Indians, which don't include you. Twin had 3 laugh emojis. Then Reborn Dynasty said, this done, but maybe Arizona we can go. You said, oh, this Don. Don, you think about moving to Arizona, huh? This dude just... Ocean said, I did boxing for 3 years. He's still talking. Are you in the United States or no? If you that good, then you could be, man, do you know what kind of social media following you could have? Being from India and you so good at boxing? And that name fake. You know good and well your name ain't no Lamar Jackson. He said, Lamar, I will make curry out of you. Real talk. Lamar will have anybody wanting to make curry out of. Lamar, 2 things. I beat you. You got to move back to India. And I need one of them cute Indian women with that smooth skin and that pretty hair. They be pretty, boy. And y'all be insecure. That's why I don't pee in open stalls. I don't pee next to nobody. And I'll get mad if I'm peeing and some dude come and pee next to me. Because y'all dudes be trying to compare. Y'all don't need to be look, man, it ain't for you. It ain't for you. And then this one dude, his wife just be like, I don't know if she be flirting or she just trying to annoy me. I think it's a little bit of both. What I think is this. His wife know he insecure, so she do little stuff to get under the skin. Like she was just doing all this talking right in his face. Like trying to play around with me and stuff. I don't go there, man. You ain't got to worry about me. I ain't messing with nobody's wife. Me and Mr. D says Jake Paul didn't perform well against Mike Tyson. I'm going to tell you, Tyson, I knew that was a payoff because Tyson, his style is aggressive, is offensive. And Tyson wasn't even throwing punches. So I knew that fight was fixed. And the way Jake Paul hold his guards, like all you got to do is rush Jake Paul and you know how to angle your shots. You're going to get through on Jake Paul. You don't get through. It ain't like you going against Crawford, where Crawford know how to maneuver his body and know how to like shrug off your hits with his tight guard. Like with Crawford, I done seen Crawford getting attacked by kids in his family just viciously and just blocking all the punches. Some of the punch. Remember that video with a little dude in his family? Little dude was just going crazy on him. Some of them was landing and it wasn't doing nothing to Crawford. But most of them, he was fending it off with the tight guard. If I'm boxing somebody and they give me their best shot and they can't hurt me, I'm coming after them. I'm gonna walk them down. But if you phase me with that shot, that guard gonna be tight. Like it's gonna be a tight guard after that. And I'm not gonna be overly offensive with somebody that I know done stunned me with one of their punches. The guard gonna be tight, and I'm gonna be more calculated. But a little stringy head dude like Lamar Jackson, he hit me. It don't faze me. I'm coming after you. Coming after you. Bing, 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 bing. And all his cousins, hey, you stop that. We got a store to run. They women are beautiful, Ocean. That ain't no cap. They be having like, they skin be melanated, but it be smooth. Like no bumps. Like you ain't gonna see too many of them with like acne and stuff like that. Yeah, I like that little spicy smell too. Tell you what, Lamar, instead of trying to box, man, where them girls from your village at? Forget that boxing stuff, man. You insecure or some stuff. Well, what you want to touch on another man for anyway? All them Indian women you could be touching on. You want to box. You Fruity Pebble? Anyway. I think dude tried to say that once before. You think. Keep underestimating people over age. Age ain't nothing but a number, man. In my mind, the way my mind works, I'm going to tell you something. Before I box you, I'm going to be thinking of all the businesses that y'all open in our neighborhoods, taking building after building after building, not supporting the U.S. economy. All that's going to be on you. You step in that ring, buddy. Knowing you here to replace me and people like me. Not to hire me, not to befriend me, not to invest in me. You here to replace me. That's what's going to be on my mind. Good luck to you. And I already know this. Yeah, he do. Man, just give me one of them Indian girls, man. Give me one of them Indian girls. I'm going to get them regardless. The only thing that's different with them, a lot of them, they only going to mess with you. You get that paper up. They super materialistic. So look, all I gotta do is extend. The little short dude, you can tell he's short. I'll just extend it. Like, man, get back, man, get back. He gonna be. I'd just be like, I'd be smiling at him like, just a quick. How many punches I just throw? I mean, he wouldn't even. He can't even see it coming. He can't even count it. If you can't count, I wonder if he's still in here. Did you put him out, twin? If you can't count how many punches I throw, I know you're not gonna be able to block. How many punches I just throw? How many punches I throw? Talking about some boxing. How many, Lamar? How many punches I throw the second time? The second time was different from the first. Okay, I'll give you another. How many punches I throw? And you see how accurate I am? I'm so close to this computer and I'm not even touching it. That's how much control I got over this, buddy. Don't let that age fool you, man. Get on out of here, Goofy. Charisma in the house. What's going on, Charisma? Then he said Lamar always coming in here with that. Yeah, he is. Charisma 808. Muscle emoji from Lamar or from Twin. Twin. He'll be back Sunday sermon. Trust me when I tell you. These dudes be talking just like Anton was talking that boxing. Man, dude, if you this is one of my tests. If you can't count how many punches I throw, how you gonna block them or fend them coming at you that quick? Those tripping. That Lamar looked like one of those soft Indian dudes. He gone 24 hours, yep. Yeah, he gonna be back Sunday. I want to box you. He making me want to box him. I come in there as 30 of them. Like, man, I ain't finna box you with all these people around. Anton Daniels talking about that, like when Anton, like when the whole Pearly things was going on, Anton made a threat towards Duke the Don, and they both was talking about meeting up boxing. Dude, you 5'5", and you ain't Dwight Qualley either. What's his name? Dwight Qualley, he was only 5'8". That dude could contort his body and was landing shot, beating tall dudes. You ain't him. Yeah, Anton Daniels. My thing with them, like Anton, I still watch Anton. Other than the Pearly things, like he make a lot of good content that I like. But it was just that Pearly things thing where I had to call him up on. And he started bringing up boxing and stuff, meeting up the box, talking about coming down to Atlanta, all this other stuff. And somebody gonna say, "What you want, cuz?" When I came at Anton, I said, "Well, I said, what you talking about? Like, what you mean? What I'm on?" Cause see, here's the thing with me. Like, I avoid trouble, but I view men all the same because either you gonna get me, or I'm gonna get you, or we ain't gonna do nothing. No, this how it is. You gonna get me, or I'm going to get you, or we're going to get each other. Or the fourth thing, we don't do nothing. I don't fear men. I know I'm going to die one day. I don't even know how. So what's the point of fearing death and you don't know when or how you're going to die? So what I look like being scared of another man? I know not to, I ain't going to walk around talking crazy and starting stuff with men either. Because I'm not trying to make it happen sooner than it need to happen. I try to show everybody respect. But I ain't scared either. Twin said Anton isn't physically built to handle a boxer. You can never underestimate. Looking at him, you would say that because he got short arms. And if I'm boxing somebody with short arms, it's easier for me to see when I'm in reach, but I'm out of your reach. So I use my reach. I'm going to use my reach on the short dude. Like that. Like the jab is going to be stiff. Y'all remember that movie Porky's? Some of y'all might remember what I'm talking about. Some of y'all might be too young. There was a scene in there where the Jewish dude was fighting the little Southern white dude. How he just kept jabbing him. He was just jabbing him, just busting him open with the jab. Like you can literally defeat somebody with just a jab. The wind, Ocean said the wind, the wind probably knock him out. Never know, man. Yeah. Twin, you remember all that was going on? It was basically, and Coach Greg Adams, whom I respect as a content creator. I do. But I don't always agree with him on everything. Like as of late, especially. You can't take up for Pearly things, man. Because what happened was he was talking about today what hurt the manosphere. I don't agree with Myron. I think that Kevin Samuels, people was complaining about Kevin Samuels not putting people on, but they do it. They don't think I can name so many of them. And I don't want to because some of them I respect their content. That they'll say things like, if you mention another content creator in my live chat, I'm blocking you. But they got mad when Kevin Samuels was doing it. And they doing the same thing. They use my stuff and don't give me credit. I've seen people put my name and stuff, and they'll be like, I'm not going to say his name. I'm like, dude, is it that serious, man? And yeah, Twin said he remembered. It was Jason Black, me, Duke the Don. It was plenty of us over here, right? Over here against Pearly things and what she was saying about slavery and how she was making a joke and making a mockery. First of all, anybody that think Pearly things belonged in the manosphere, they don't belong. It's called manosphere for a reason, Goofy. It's men. And when you call it the black manosphere, she wasn't black. She's not a man. She divided the manosphere. On her side, it was the lead attorney, Tommy Sotomayor, Angry Man, Anton Daniels, Obsidian. These dudes are claiming to have started the black manosphere, but they tried to make Obsidian was calling her the queen of the manosphere. O'Shea was over there with us too. We all roasting, just annihilating Pearly. Sneeko was over there with Pearly. Myron over there with Pearly. Anton, I already mentioned. Andrew Tate, all these dudes getting credit off the manosphere that tried to give a white woman the title. And from the Midwest at that. The Midwest is the most segregated region in the United States. White people and black people don't really do it like that in this Midwest, other than Minnesota, South Dakota, maybe. They don't mess like that in the Midwest. Chicago, Milwaukee, it's segregated, man. And they tried to put her in the forefront. Too young, didn't even have no experience of her own. It made them all look like some uncle. And I was letting them have hit piece after hit piece. That's one way I built my channel up, y'all. That's how I got monetized. Like them videos just shot me to monetization. Yeah, Larry Holmes. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Larry Holmes was beating people with jabs. The only time he really threw power punches is when he knew they was hurt. He was jabbing them. Just using that reach like. And he could jab with both hands. And then he'll throw power punches once he done messed you up with the jab. Larry Holmes, that's who I was thinking about. I was thinking like, it was somebody who used to beat people with the jab. That's who I was thinking of, Larry Holmes. Mayweather used to throw power punches when he was younger, though. And Mayweather knocked some people out. Remember, dude wasn't aware, and Mayweather hit him and just dropped him. I was laughing. I was watching that fight. Mayweather was like, boom, boom. That's what he get for not being ready. I like Mayweather. Like literally, I like Mayweather as a person. I like how he do things. I like how he think. Mayweather ain't with that little thug hood stuff. Mayweather about that money. I'm a Mayweather fan. I was like on pins and needles. I did not want him to lose. Like when he was fighting Pacquiao that one time and Pacquiao was winning at first. Said, no, he's just super fast. Me and Mr. D said, oh yeah, Riddick Bowe versus Lennox Lewis would have been a great fight. Everybody missed out on. Let me tell you a story about me. So anybody that know about how boxing go, like the way you get into boxing is you got to know somebody. So I knew somebody, I forgot his name. It was a long time ago. He was from my neighborhood. He was a professional boxer. He was like a lightweight. And so he sat me down, showed me what I had to do. I said, man, I want to go pro. What they do is they'll show you the whole process. Like for instance, the way he explained it was your first couple fights is going to be against people that really at the end of their career, they'll fight back, but they just don't have it. And some of them won't be able to take a punch because you're a prospect. You basically what's called a prospect. Your first couple fights, you just trying to learn how to maneuver in the ring, what works for you, what don't work for you. But as you go up, he was showing me like you get to this point, like he said, like you 10-0, you're gonna have to like back then he said you're gonna have to go against one of these guys. It was Tommy Morrison, Ray Mercer. It was dudes with knockout power that will put a loss on your record. So he said if you get past a couple of them, basically by the time you hit 14-0 or 15-0, you're going to get you're going to start to get more major fights. Like you're going to fight against somebody that may have lost once or twice, but they still are good and you could lose if you're not careful. But then he got to the top. Y'all know who was at the top? Riddick Bowe. I ain't no scary dude, but I'm like, okay, I'm every bit of 6'1", 6'2", 225. Riddick Bowe is 6'6" at the time, 260. Lightning quick, just as fast or faster than me with the hand speed. Arm about this long. Like, oh man, shit. And then, yep, that's when Lennox was starting to take off too. Lennox wasn't like when I was thinking about going pro. Lennox was coming up the ranks too. He was like getting up there, but he wasn't quite up there, not yet. That next year though, that's when he got up there, and that's when Riddick Bowe threw the belt in the garbage because I think he lost to Lennox Lewis in amateurs. Jay said boxing is my favorite sport. It's one of mine. These dudes now be scared to lose. They be scared to lose, like, and they be, twin, you a lanky something, 6'4", 190. That's a cruiserweight. 74-inch reach. Yeah, the cruiserweights, you got some power, man. You can probably run through a lot of them. But remember, Usyk was a cruiserweight too, though. And I told people years ago, they thought I was crazy. They're like, man, ain't nobody going to beat Tyson Fury. I said, there's one dude that can beat Tyson Fury if he comes up to heavyweight because of his hand speed, his activity, and his stamina, and that's Usyk. And I was right. Usyk beat him twice. And I'm like, man, I should have put some money on it. I knew it. I knew that Usyk was going to be the one that beat Tyson Fury. Yeah, I liked it, Mike Tyson. That's why I was so mad about that Jake Paul. I wanted him so bad to beat up Jake Paul, man. My feelings was hurt. I almost cried, man. Because I know Tyson could beat him. From a business standpoint, it was smart for Tyson to do that, but I don't like that he did that, man. And like them dudes from Britain, that one dude, he was a champ. He was so mad over that. He said he ain't gonna follow no script. He gonna knock Jake Paul right out. Jake Paul didn't challenge him. Yeah, he beat Butterbean. You know what? I used to work at a nursing home. And they used to tell me, I said, man, I will beat Butterbean. I said, dude, right now, this what they ain't understand. They ain't understand the level that I could box. And they didn't understand that at one point I was considering going pro in boxing. Not Golden Glove, none of that. Going straight to the pros. Anybody could box now. All you gotta do is meet the right people, tell them you want to become pro, and they'll put you on one of these cards. You'll find a card somewhere in the United States or Mexico or anywhere. Like Emmanuel Williams, look up Emmanuel Williams. Dude, anytime I want to laugh, I watch Emmanuel Williams. He was getting knocked out with body shots, man. They was paying him because he was professional. Yeah, but I used to tell people, I said I could beat Lou Savarese, I could beat Butterbean, I could beat in them C-class fighters, I can beat them. Man, you ain't gonna beat Butterbean. Butterbean got a lot of power. You see how Holmes did. That jab, that was his weakness. If you got a quick jab, Butterbean was a sucker for it. Mike versus Prime George Foreman. They would have killed each other, man. Both of them would have been brain damage. Because they would have slugged it out, and whoever got hit was going to get knocked out. So I always wanted to see Mike Tyson versus Tommy Morrison, too. Tommy Morrison had a lot of power, but he couldn't take a punch. If he gets you first, he can get on you and he can to get you out of there. But he couldn't take a punch. And that's the thing about George Foreman. Man, George Foreman can give and take punches. George Foreman is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I got him in the top 5 easy. I watched George Foreman when I was in college win the championship. What was he, like 46? We watching at Jackson State. I'm like, I didn't like Michael Moorer, because Michael Moorer was another one they mentioned when I was thinking about saying, okay, well, Michael Moorer, he was one of the top. So we watching the fight with George Foreman. George Foreman hit dude, man, he was seeing star. He was just like, that was a real punch. Caught him right on the button. Knocked him out. Became the oldest to ever win the championship. Said they need to bring Golden Gloves to keep these kids off the street. Whatever they got to do. Whatever they got to do. Because some of these kids, I worked with kids for many years. I didn't know a lot of them that I just couldn't stand. Like, those dudes was funny. They had good senses of humor. They just was misguided. Bad home life, mother chasing men, chasing Pookie and Ray Ray, not taking care of her kids. Just some of them, like one of them, his mother, like I knew her from the world. Like we used to be in the same bars and stuff. And she always got a lot of attention from guys because she had a real big booty and she was high yellow. She was light skinned. So she wasn't taking, of course they're going to get her pregnant. She wasn't taking care of her kids. Her kids grew up and was criminals. And I know their daddy too. Their daddy was known in Milwaukee streets. Or his daddy, at least, the one I'm talking about. Yeah, because Lennox wanted his shot. Riddick Bowe. Remember Riddick Bowe punched the dude before the fight? Herbie Hyde? So I'll tell you what. Bink, bink. There's a video of Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis almost. Yeah, they ain't like each other. Yeah, I saw that video with George Twin. Man, he was pounding that bag. I said, won't Jake Paul fight George? George will knock him out. He ain't going to follow no script. Don't let that little church stuff fool you. And George, like he say, George can take a punch. I saw Holyfield viciously giving it to him. He just take it, coming right back. Yeah, me too, me and Mr. Diggs. I was disappointed at Mike, man. Mike had the wrong people in his corner. Mike was on some hood stuff. Wasn't even thinking straight when he fought Holyfield. And Holyfield fought him past his prime, too. Holyfield was a beast. The way he threw his punches, like Holy, it was another one. So if I would have made it to the top, I would have had to fight either Michael Moorer back then, Holyfield, Riddick Bowe. These are the people at the top. Michael Moorer had one of the belts when me and him was discussing this. Riddick Bowe, they probably would have made me and Lennox Lewis go at it. If, let's say I would have made it to 16-0. I would have had to either fight Lennox Lewis or who else was there? Ray Mercer, I probably would have already fought him. Probably around 12, 13 fights in. So I would have had to fight him. Like, me and him was close to the same size, but that dude was vicious. And he had the experience, so it wouldn't have been easy. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know, man. You fighting all these dudes, man. You liable to be brain dead after fighting all these dudes. So then I say, okay, well, maybe we'll do MMA. That's when MMA UFC first started. And I had the first UFC maybe 3 months later. It was Ken Shamrock against Dan Severn. I ordered it at my apartment. Everybody over there watching. Because that's when I said, maybe I'll do UFC. The way he explained it, it made me not want to be no boxer no more. Like, man, if you have to fight all of them, you liable to have a messed up brain after this. If let's say I went undefeated, I'm all the way at the top. I got to fight Riddick Bowe. Big as he is, man, I'll be tying him up and stuff, man. But he big and heavy and fast. That would have been no idea. I changed my mind on that. Then they should have gave George Foreman that fight over Tommy Morrison. Yeah. Need to open a boxing gym. Shoot, when I get my house again, I'm gonna have it in there. Like to this day I could keep a speed bag going. I was shocked. I think what year was that? I had a speed bag in my basement and I could keep it going easy. It was easy. Easy. If you don't box, then you ain't gonna be able to keep the bag going. But yeah, Lennox had speed and power. And he was rough. Lennox had that killer instinct too. He'll try to bust you open. Lennox try to kill you in the ring. Don't let that little action film. It was a big difference between Lennox Lewis and Anthony Joshua. This my sneaking suspicion. I believe Anthony Joshua would be messing with a lot of women. And it's affecting him in the ring. Like his legs is weak. Said that Larry Daniel. Yeah, either it was Hyde or Donald. Yeah, when he fought him, when he punched him 2 times before the fight. Oscar was a beast. Oscar was a beast. He was. You know what I would want to see? Because I seen they both still got a little something. I would pay to see right now Sugar Ray Leonard and Oscar De La Hoya fight. That'd be a good one. That's an even matchup. Even though Leonard older than him, that's an even matchup right there. I'm telling you. That would be a good one. Like if they just said y'all can use headgear and just let them fight, I would pay to see that. Roy Jones versus the Truth Man. I don't know, man. Roy Jones, back then, that's when he was in his heyday. He was smaller than me back then, but Roy Jones, he would have got me because he was just too fast and his moves was, I probably wouldn't have got Roy Jones, even though he was a middleweight. It's just the way he moved would have been pretty difficult. Now, I don't know about now. It'd be a little more difficult for him now. I'm gonna be honest about it. Say he's still talking smack. Roy Jones said, did y'all ever see Average Joes versus Pros? Man, Roy Jones was toying with that dude. I liked it, that show. Look it up. It's on YouTube. Average Joes versus Pros, Roy Jones. They had Eric Dickerson on there, who I was amazed how fast he still is at 60 some odd years old, practically running the same. Yeah, he threw that belt in the trash. Yeah. Yeah, because Roy Jones, he fought Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson fought him. So he know what Mike Tyson, facing Mike Tyson was. He knew that was a fluke. So he wanted to prove it was a fluke by getting in there and destroying Jake Paul, which he would have. Roy Jones will beat Jake Paul. Twin with 2 laugh emojis. He did. He wanted to fight Jake for Mike. Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, we still dealing with Jake Paul. I hoped that this would be the end of him. Who you think will win, Foreman or Bo? Right now, even though Bo got that speech thing, he still know how to throw them punches. I've seen him. Him and James Toney, they speech is messed up, but it's weird how they still, Hearns too. They ain't forgot how to fight. Hearns was a monster, man. Crawford remind me of Hearns, but a little more polished and better stamina. Hearns has stamina issues. He'll come after you and he'll run out of gas. Oh, good question. Chris Bird versus James Toney. Right now, I don't know. Back then, James Toney getting Chris Bird. Chris Bird has some skills, though. He was fast. He was another one. Like, they mentioned him. He was probably would have ended up having to face him if I would have been like about 14 with no losses. He was coming up through there too. But if I would have fought, I would have fought at 225. I wasn't fighting no lower or no higher than 225. That would have been my fighting weight. He said, I'll fight Jake in this suit. People don't like dude, man. They know he's a fluke. You're a scam artist. I think he know how to box a little, but if he fight the right person, he's going to lose. Like, it's YouTubers that beat Jake Paul. Tank versus Mayweather. They might fight, and I'm definitely buying it, and I might go see it in person. That's even. A lot of people don't think so. That's an even fight. I'm going to show you why. Because Mayweather is not going to come into that fight without being in perfect shape. And Mayweather is the master of being under pressure and hurt and bouncing back. He done got hurt in a lot of his fights and always came back. So Tank, his skills are just ridiculous, man. Like the way he maneuvered, the way he'll switch up his shots, the angle of his shots. Like Tank will knock you out going backwards. Like you'll walk right in and he'll just bring the hook up like that, knock you out. Like he did Rolly. I'll tell you somebody that people probably don't think, but that will give Tank a match is Blair Cobbs. That weird, unorthodox style, he'll probably make a problem for Tank. But nothing against him. Boots is good. But I think Boots finna have his hand full with that next one. We finna find out how good Boots is. I want to see Boots fight Thurman. That's who I want to see Boots fight. Because if Boots fight Crawford, he gonna be like Billy Joe Sanders was after he fought Canelo. We probably ain't gonna hear from him for a while. Don't underestimate Spence. Spence went against that guy. Spence still beating probably everybody else. And Ugas too. Like Ugas lost to Spence. Ugas is decent. Y'all got to remember, he beat Pacquiao. Used his reach all the way on Pacquiao, practically put his eye out. So this was weird about today. People act like people can't lose. Ali still was the greatest of all time with multiple losses. He lost to Frazier. He lost, I think he lost to Ken Norton. He lost a couple fights and he still kept coming back, kept winning. And I think his daughter would beat Clarissa to this day. If she in tip-top shape, Layla beating Clarissa. Clarissa gonna have her hands full. Because y'all gotta realize the dynamic is different with women. With women, the age thing don't matter as much. It don't matter all the way with men, but with women, it really don't matter. Because I've seen and heard about, like dude was telling me about this older chick. These young girls started some stuff with her and tried to rob her. She beat all 6 of them up by herself. And the only way they even had a chance is one of them pulled out a gun and shot. And it got her finger and messed her hand up. Yes, she is, man. Hey, Layla, yeah. I don't like looking at married women, though. I think she married. Yeah, Layla. Clarissa ain't horrible. She all right. Baumgartner, they say a little 304, but she better looking. They say she done got knocked back. Lethal at J. What about Marvin Hagler? Marvin Hagler, I don't like how his career ended. We had the fight. Sugar Ray beat him, man. Sugar Ray won that fight, man. And I'm not just saying that because I used to try to be Sugar Ray. That was one of my favorites. He won that fight. Like what he was doing was Sugar Ray would keep a decent pace for the whole round. Then at the end of the round, Hagler started laying off and Sugar Ray started coming at him even more. So at the end of every round, Sugar Ray was landing power shots. Like he was more busy. He won that fight, man. Hagler lost that fight, dude. But Hagler was, you talking about somebody that could take a punch. The reason why I'm into boxing like this, because my father, that was his thing. Like he had a good job. All his friends, we used to order every fight. We had HBO. We had every fight, whether it was pay-per-view or HBO. We had every fight. We always used to have fight parties. They have a bunch of liquor, a bunch of food. All the kids be there, grown people. And one of the best fight parties we ever had was when he fought Leonard. And I'm like, Leonard won that fight. The only person that thought Hagler won that fight was my father. Because Leonard, like he'll come in, he'll stay busy. At the end of the round, bing, 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 he done landed 6 punches. Into every round. Speaking of Hagler, people tried to say Hagler didn't care nothing about his kids because he left all that money to that white woman. But let me speak on his behalf as somebody that might face the same dilemma. Hagler had such a nasty divorce that his attitude probably was he didn't want them to give it to that mother. But I think he should have just talked to him like, hey, man, what I give you is for you. Twin said Mike didn't care about those fights. He lost. Literally didn't even try, he said. No, Mike was fighting for money at the end. Mike didn't want to fight no more. Mike felt guilty. And the thing that hurt so much about, I really thought Mike was finna come back. And I thought the way he was, I thought that he could beat some of these heavyweights. And he got out there and just messed it all up, playing around with Jake Paul. He could have made more coming back as a pro. He could have been like, look, I'm not fighting nobody under 10 million. And they would have gave it to him. Sure, Mike, whatever you want. Every fight, 10 million. He blew a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. But yeah, Solo, Marvin Hagler could take a punch, man. And Marvin Hagler was probably one of the better, if not the best, counter punchers of all time. How you think he got Hearns? Hearns was winning that fight. But Tyson knocked Hearns out with a counter punch. Or not Tyson, but Hagler. He caught him with the counter. Hearns staggered and he finished him off. Heard he did the Jake fight to keep his weed farm going, probably. I heard his weed farm was doing good, though. Yeah. Anybody got anything else before I get off of here? I want to get a couple matches in before I call it a night. Get a couple matches in. I ain't had a beer in a long time, man. I think I'm about to have me a beer. I'm going to have a cold one this weekend. Probably Saturday. But yeah, just to sum up what we kind of talked about, it's not a lot of good women out here. You got to know how to vet. You got to know what to look for. You got to know what the negative things that when you see them, you got to give up on chicks. Give up on them. Don't keep pursuing them because you'll end up giving her a chance and she going to burn you down the road. Take it from me. Take it from me. Then we talked about is whether or not marriage is slavery. I think most marriages is going to be like slavery, man. If we had 60 people in this life and all 60 guys got married, if I had to guess and put a percentage on the marriages that's going to be fake, they're going to be trying to not tell people their business, but their relationship is terrible, or going to be like slavery, I would say 54 of them. Maybe 4 of them would be decent. And then the other 2 would be like in between. But most of them is going to be like slavery. Because of these women, double standard, because of their entitlement, their narcissistic ways, and their delusion. So most women is going to talk that stuff. I ain't like that. You don't got to worry about that with me. And then when you marry them, you're going to find out they like that. And in some ways, they even worse. And you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about because I've been married longer than most of these guys on YouTube. Most of them, 90-something percent. And I've seen the ups and downs, the good and the bad. Whole lot of bad. Whole lot of stuff that you guys, if y'all get married, you don't expect that to be going on. Twin said, all good here about to retire and lay it back down. Yeah, Twin. I do appreciate you coming in here as always. I'm about to lay it down too after I do a couple matches. And the games they play, it's the main thing. They play so many games that you don't want to move too fast with them. I would say 5 years. 5 years before any moves are made, any moving in, any marriage, anything. And if you do get married, no marriage license. And make sure you already got a lot of money before you make any kids. Then that way, the little money she getting won't be nothing because you already got it. Take your time with these women. Ain't no hurry. 5 years. So that means if you 35, you meet a chick tomorrow, you vet her out from day 1 to day 1200 or whatever, however many is 5 years. And even after that, you keep vetting. You always keep tabs on what she's doing, what you think she's thinking, who she talking about. When she keep talking about dudes from her job, you keep track of that in your mind. You don't tell her, don't argue with her, don't just let her talk. Sometimes you got to let them talk. Sometimes you got to get up and walk. When their talking is revealing to you, that's when you let them talk. When they talking, trying to manipulate you or try to act like they got more control and clout than they supposed to have as women, man, get up and leave out the room. You don't listen to that. I don't care what dudes want you. I don't care what dudes gave you and gave. We shouldn't be listening to none of that. We gotta be more stoic than that. Like, okay. So they like you, huh? Maybe I should let them have you. What you think? I mean, after all, there's a lot of women out here. I believe they like you because they like me too. These women like me. So I know guys like you. Instead of you getting mad. Oh, man, this, I dare. Don't. See, women want you to think, especially when you get older like me, they want you to think these women don't like you, and that's just not true. It's not true. And I'm going to give y'all receipts. I promise you that. And in the days to come, y'all going to see a lot of receipts. Because what I got to do is I'm going to have to prove that I know what I'm talking about for these guys that just want to talk money this, money that. I got money. I'm not rich yet. Some of these dudes got more better material possessions than me. But they grift on y'all because they make y'all like y'all shouldn't listen to guys based on what they have and don't have. They gave you that. People gave you that. That don't mean that you know everything. I mean, just look at Myron, for instance. Myron admitted he ain't never really had a girlfriend like that. But he had millions of people following his channel. So sometimes dudes got to provide receipts. Just like Alpha Male Strategies. Nothing against him. I think he's funny. Like, I watched his content. He does make some good content, make some good points. But I saw him in action on one of his own videos where he was freezing up, acting nervous around women. I saw it. I saw it. You know who not nervous around women? The saint and the sinner. That dude don't be nervous around them chicks at all, at least from what I see. Not at all. He be letting them have it. Like, he makes some good shorts too. But yeah, 5 years. Any ultimatums, they get done. You tell them, look, if you're gonna give me an ultimatum, then we can just end it. You're not finna force me into no marriage, me knowing how marriage go. I got an ultimatum. Here's my thing though. My mind is nasty enough to keep banging the same chick. But it's them. Like, they the one that get curious. It's them. That's why y'all uh low body count. Man, low body count is just as dangerous because they might get curious down the line. And think of it like this. She got a low body count, that means her vag is gonna be tighter. If her vag is tighter, some dudes will get hooked on that, and you never know how a dude gonna try to act. Been try to do something to you over your wife, your girl. Like, I need you for myself. Now, of course, they'll dump her once they split her all the way in. But still, Jay said women today don't even want the men to put their foot down, just go along to get along. Nowadays, ain't none of that. And you're right, Jay. That's what they want. Can't none of us give them that. We going by the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, like, I don't care if y'all not spiritual. Stick to this scripture. The scripture is life. Scripture is life. You can't go wrong with it. You know how to use it, you can't go wrong with it. These women don't want to stick to the scripture because the scripture shows them what their role is. But remember, you got the Most High, you got the devil, and there ain't no in between. It's either or. But you're right, Jay. Twin said 100. You're absolutely right. But that's them. That's that penis envy stuff. That's them. Like, some women, they'll know that they green, so they want to prove how tough they is. And they'll sabotage their relationship with a good guy, just trying to prove theyself. Like I told y'all, sometimes it could be the women around them, they friends, they family, all trash relationships. They'll have a good one and be trying to clamp down on him like he one of them other dude. And he'll be like, look, I ain't them other niggas. You're not finna come at me like that. And it'll just from there. If Where relationships work is when each person does their part. consistently from now and forever. They're usually not going to fail when that happens. Remember, that's why I say you build the relationship on honesty first. Then you go from honesty to loyalty. Then you go from loyalty to respect. And while you're going from each one, you still continuing to do those other things. Then you go from respect to cooperation. Then you go from cooperation to the physical stuff, lust. You gonna have your lust is gonna be more powerful for that person if the honesty, the loyalty, the respect is already built and already there. Trust me, you gonna get your nut off. You gonna, like, I done had ugly girl. That's why I say, y'all be hearing me say that looks ain't everything. That's why, because a woman can be not so attractive. If she got those other qualities, I know her body gonna be so soft and just so wonderful. I'm telling you, some of the ugliest girls I got was some of the best sex I ever had. A couple of them was at the top. I had one that was jet black. You would swear she was from Sudan or somewhere. Had this good hair. And it's like every time, it just was quick. I'm like, oh. One of the ugliest women I ever dealt with. Then I had another one. Her teeth, you think my teeth, her teeth make my teeth look straight and operated. All her teeth look like somebody just was breaking them and leaving half of them in there. But from here on down, perfect. I was like, I had plenty of girls at the time. And I'm wondering what she doing. I'm grabbing her all by her arm, like, man, where are you going? Had me sweating one night in there. It was the summer. I'm dressed in sweat. I come back to the car. My guy's like, man, what happened, man? They came and picked me up. I said, yeah, man. That's all I said was, man. Most dudes would be like, ugh, she was ugly. Her teeth was all messed up. Her attitude wasn't ugly. And hey, listen, man. So me, I learned that even back then. Like it's like you grow with those certain characteristics that increases the dynamic sexually. I don't care how fine a chick is. If all the dudes trying to holler at her sex might be trash. Because some of them gonna get her and she gonna think everybody want her. So she gonna think she doing you a favor. But anyway, y'all, I've talked at length. Shout out to y'all coming in here. Hit the like button. You ain't done it. Feel free to support if you have the means or the desire or both to do so. Preferably through Cash App. But you also can do super thanks or super chat as well. We monetized on here. And if you don't do that, you still can share the content. You still can let the ads play out. You still can buy those things advertised on the ads that you might want or you might need. But with that being said, we've been on here 3 hours and 10 minutes. It's time for me to get on this game for at least a couple matches. Twins, let's see y'all Sunday sermon. Definitely that will be the next live is Sunday. No live. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Wait, what is it? I'm losing track. Tomorrow, Thursday, right? No live. Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. But we'll be back as far as lives are concerned, Sunday sermon. Tomorrow, I don't know about videos yet. If I do, it ain't going to be that many. I'm going to be going pretty strong with the work. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Those 3 days, I like to be really aggressive in terms of my work, financial. But thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for all y'all dialogue, and we will see y'all soon. Be looking for more videos tomorrow. Everybody have a good night. Sleep tight. Hopefully you ain't got no bed bugs. This gonna bite.